Busty Becky Kenny, and I want you to visit frontrowfanatics.com.
All right, folks, we're back here, Front Row Fanatics, reviewing Culture Shock Wrestling's Hardcore New Year show that took place last Saturday night at the House of Hardcore in Mossy Head, Florida. And with that being said, Internet, take it away.
Okay, our next match pitted the winner of the Four Corners of Hell match, Mr. Marcus Gibbs, against the winner of the BTY Colby Godwin and California Kid match, BTY Colby Godwin. And this was for the CSW Unified Heavyweight Championship. And in the end, it was Mr. Marcus Gibbs. He beat BTY Colby Godwin with a Texas Cloverleaf, another submission move from Mr. Marcus Gibbs.
There once again shows a lot of people, there's been a lot of chatter on message boards regarding Marcus Gibbs. You know, I put him in my top 10 wrestlers of the Gulf Coast that I see on a regular basis, and people saying, he's pretty good, but do you think he's really top 10 material?
Yes.
And my response was, as someone who sees him on a regular basis, you can tell when a guy is getting good or developing a good reputation when, one, he's always in contention for belts, two, he's in demand in more than one promotion.
Yes.
You know, and three, people are talking about him.
And people are definitely talking about Mr. Marcus Gibbs.
Absolutely. Now, both of them, BTY had a grueling match against the California Kid to open the show, while Marcus Gibbs had just got done being victorious in Four Corners of Hell with all kinds of violent mayhem, and then, bam, here they are battling for the belt. You know, you got to wonder who had the advantage or disadvantage. Was Marcus, you know, at the advantage because he just finished the match and was pumping up, you know, adrenaline going, while BTY had to sit and wait for over an hour after opening the show in his match to get in there. You know, that you could look at it either way. One, you could say BTY got to rest and recoup and Marcus didn't, or you could say that BTY was cold and Marcus was fresh. But it was an awesome match. Once again, BTY and Marcus Gibbs working their second match of the night.
Yes.
Delivered. You know, both of them were in physically grueling, intense matches, and they showed why they are part of this crop of up-and-coming young stars in the Gulf Coast independent wrestling scene, which I like them both. I dig them. You know, I was having a hard time rooting for one or the other because
right.
I've been a long-time BTY fan, but, you know, Marcus Gibbs is rapidly becoming one of my favorite, and they got out there, the fans were into it, and it was an awesome match. You know, it was one of those matches where you were sad that one guy had to lose. You know, but in the end, Marcus Gibbs, which some people might have said in an upset victory, defeated BTY Colby Godwin to become the CSW Unified Heavyweight Champion. So,
right, and I agree with you. I like both guys. Marcus Gibbs, we started watching him when he first started out, and of course BTY, he's the shit. But you know, like I said, I hate to see BTY lose, considering what he had to go through to get that championship.
Absolutely.
You know, he blood, sweat, and tears. But then again, you know, Marcus Gibbs been working his ass off up and down the Gulf Coast. It was good to see him get a championship strap.
And I also want to commend the bookers at CSW for putting the swerve on us again. I didn't see Marcus getting the belt.
Yeah, but nothing against Marcus, but
no,
you know,
not at all.
But anyway, right out of that, we're going to move into the main event, which was a tag team Four Corners of Hell match. Your four tag teams for this match were the Elite, David Prime and Master of Devastation Cameron Frost, First String, Initial Shock, Extreme G, and
Shocky is Extreme G, and JT Angel.
JT Angel, and the Sadist Kingdom, which was Mike Metal.
And somebody make Crew bleed.
And the way this match worked is one member of the tag team would come out at a time, sporadically. And when JT Angel came out, he brought with him the one, the only, Busty Becky Kennedy. For those of you that were at the previous show, you know that the Sadist Kingdom had a match with Initial Shock, and the stipulation of the match is if the Sadist Kingdom won, Busty Becky Kennedy was gone from CSW. So you can imagine the surprise when Busty Becky Kennedy came out with JT Angel with a ticket in her hand, and he set her down in the front row. So I guess you could say she was a front row fanatic for that match.
Absolutely.
And
a Bustalicious front row fanatic at that.
Absolutely. And this was an elimination style match. And at some point in the middle of the match, David Prime, I believe, sustained an ankle injury and was unable to continue. therefore leaving the Master of Devastation, Cameron Frost, to fend for himself. And in the end, it came down to JT Angel and I'm lost now. Who was it? Victor Crew.
Or was it both members of the Sadist Kingdom?
Well, in the end, it was, I think Mike Metal was still out there.
Right.
And in the end, Victor Crew, well, let me back up. JT Angel at one point brought Busty Becky Kennedy in the ring to slap Victor Crew. Busty Becky Kennedy looked at him and said, "You've had this coming for a long time," and she smacked JT Angel. And
shock to the fans now.
Yeah, shock to the fans, shock to JT Angel. No one saw that coming. And I think, pardon the pun, the initial shock of him getting slapped knocked him loopy and allowed Victor Crew to get the 1-2-3. And we thought we had new tag team champions, but the commissioner of CSW, Tom Foolery, came out and said, you know what? David Prime was never officially eliminated, and he basically was carried to the ring by Cameron Frost and thrown in there, and somehow got the pin on Victor Crew, thus making the Elite your new CSW tag team champions.
That's right. My close personal friend, David Prime, showed the intestinal fortitude that he had to come back from this devastating injury and help the Elite capture the CSW Tag Team Gold, much to the Gargoyles' delight, and much to the delight of, I'd say, 95% of the fans at CSW, except for the fools that like the first string and sadist doo-doo boys and whatever, and then
Right.
and then Busty Becky walking off at the end with the Sadist Kingdom being dragged by her hair. I guess she's digging that stuff now or whatever.
Apparently she's a sadist herself.
Yes, kinky little Beckham's there or whatever. I don't know. But, the bottom line was my boys, Frost Prime, new CSW Tag Team Champions. The show was just fucking awesome. Excuse my choice of profanity there, but it was fucking awesome.
And this speaks volumes about David Prime. I mean, the guy couldn't even walk. And he got in there, basically, I don't think he got vertical when he was thrown back in. He just somehow wrapped Victor Crew. I mean, that amazed me. And I'm sure it amazed Victor Crew, too, but...
Well, it doesn't
wow.
take much to amaze that pinhead, pea-brain little goofball. And your mama's still not there to protect you anymore, boy, so your time to bleed is coming.
Wow. And like I said, fans, if you missed this show, shame on you. You missed one of the best shows in a while. The House of Hardcore was packed out. There were so many people in there, it was ridiculous.
And so, this is the second month in a row that CSW has delivered an awesome-ass show. So to all the naysayers, all the people that are talking shit, dogging CSW, all I've got to say, check out the video, check out the postings on the message boards. CSW fucking rocks, baby. That's all I got to say. So with that being said, we're going to take a break before we come back for match of the night, grade the show, blah, 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 and whatever the front row fanatics want to talk about.
Sure.